Income inequality is a problem in the United States. Many different factors make up this problem, but we believe that education is the biggest factor. Education is the bridge between a child in school and an adult in the workplace. However, the difference in access to methods of education is skewed to the advantage of the wealthy. A common example is private tutoring. This is an exclusive and expensive method which propels a student to the front of her class. It continues to snowball as she receives high marks, gets into selective honors classes, and attends prestigious schools with access to even greater postgraduate opportunities. Meanwhile, the poor are stuck in a cycle where it's extremely difficult to ascend to the level of the rich. The reallocation of resources and the improvement of school culture are the answers to leveling the playing field. The current classroom setting in the United States consists of lively participation, questions, and discussions. There is also an emphasis on the diversity of clubs and extracurricular activities. These are great for all students. There are also schools which reserve seats for underrepresented students, which certainly helps in countering inequality. Again, great. However, compared to the rest of the world, the United States is underperforming in academic achievement. Meanwhile, Japan is performing very well. What is Japan doing differently that allows it to boast such high marks? Here's a brief description of Japan's education system. This chart shows the Japanese education system, which differs slightly from the American education system. The Japanese follow a 6-3-3-4 structure, meaning 6 years for primary school, 3 years for middle school, 3 years for high school, and 4 years for university, as opposed to the American structure, which is 5 years for elementary school and 4 years for high school. American and Japanese school structures also differ in terms of curriculum. While each state in the United States formulates its own curriculum, the Japanese schools use a national curriculum created by the Japanese Ministry of Education. This means that the federal government decides what to teach, how to teach it, and even what books to use. By the United States having each state decide what to teach, the education taught relies heavily on resources available, namely money, which means that two graduates from different cities could have extremely different skills and knowledge. By Japan having a national curriculum, they could try to close the gap between any educational disparity. The curriculum for each grade is carefully created in order to ensure a smooth transition from one grade to the next. Another difference in structure between American and Japanese education system is the amount of time spent in school. Students in Japan spend 240 days a year at school, while American students spend only 180 days in school. The Japanese breaks are also shorter than American ones, which prevents the students from forgetting any important information. The United States should consider adopting some of Japan's practices to improve its education system. Giving greater responsibility to the students in the classroom would be very beneficial. Classroom management tasks like attendance taking, announcements, and cleanup should start as early as elementary school. This would help develop students' responsibility and leadership qualities in a way that may not previously exist in a traditional classroom setting or at home.
In Japanese schools, the pupils serve the meals. It makes it feel more like a family affair. When the children dish out the meal for everyone, it makes it feel more united as a group. And the children are considerate and don't discriminate about who gets more or less and divide the food equally, so everyone can feel good about eating.
The practice of senpai and kohai, or a mentor and mentee relationship, should be a formalized school initiative for both students and teachers. For students, this would create a meaningful relationship in which they are given the opportunity to provide and receive guidance, be it on homework or high school and college-bound decisions. Plus, it establishes a method for students to connect with others outside of their grade level.
The older children accompanying the young to and from school, it's something we also did as children. I think this is very good in terms of having contact with children of different ages. It's important to learn how to communicate and interact with children who are both older and younger than themselves.
As for teachers, it could improve methods of teaching across the board. For example, a positive result could be that students who are not enrolled with the best teacher could still receive a very high-level education. Juku and Yopiko cram schools are very popular in Japan. For the United States, reallocating resources to provide low-income students with more access to these review or prep programs is quintessential. One such program in New York City is the DREAM SHSI program, which prepares students for the SHSAT. In addition to these programs, school clubs can be created so that students can receive additional help. Lastly, communication needs to be improved. This is especially important for families who may not be familiar with English. Without this, opportunities like the prep programs can be easily missed. Through greater access to educational opportunities, these proposals can help students develop critical skills to compete with the best of them. Thank you.